Today's session is for those who will be taking IARD6020 and going to India as part of the course. So the purpose is really to let you know what you'll be experiencing in India and how to prepare yourself to get the most out of this trip, and also what are our expectations from you during the trip and after the trip, and how this course is going to work. So let's go through this. These are a set of slides that we have used over the years, so they have been time tested. So some of the information here is very essential that you pay attention to. Ultimately, we'll put all these PowerPoint slides on Blackboard, so they will be available. So if you miss something, you can go back. But the idea is right now we can share with you and answer questions that you may have after you have heard what we are talking about. So let's get it started. So IARD6020 is a group effort, and there are many people that make it happen, especially at Cornell, the faculty and staff of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. And in India, there's a number of hosts, especially Sadhguru management consultants, who serve as the caretaker of this course in India, and then a number of other places that you'll be visiting, like Mahiko Research Facility, Rajashri Shahu Agricultural Research and Development Society, Mahiko BT Cotton Farms, UNESCO, and University in Rauri, and there'll be more details given in the handbook, I'll show some of those to you. And of course, it will not work if we did not have quality students who take this course, and some of the sponsors, the departments that are paying part of your support, and international program that's financing it. Course highlights, it's a field trip based course, domestic and Indian students. So there will be domestic students, we consider those who are going from Cornell, and there will be students from India, other universities in India who will participate in the field trip, okay? And some of them have not traveled out of their own home state, so this will be an experience for them, and especially meeting students from Cornell will be a very new experience for many of them. So you have to be prepared to be, culturally sensitive about their likes and dislikes versus yours. Theme and sub-theme group project discussions, presentation, and papers. So you have 3 theme groups: ag system, infrastructure, and value addition. Each of this group will be subdivided into subgroups based on what your interest area is, what you are interested in looking at in depth. Overall exposure versus your own interest in digging deeper in certain area that you can write a paper on later. Applied theoretical knowledge from IARD4020 that you have taken this semester, and now you couple this with the course 6020 that's trip-based, and see how you can put 2 and 2 together and get the most out of it. Cross-cultural experience, that's a big part of it. You'll be experiencing a very different culture, some of it familiar, some of it very unfamiliar to you. And comparison of contemporary development in Indian agriculture to the US agriculture and vice versa. India is, as you know, is a very big country. It's a very agriculture-based country. About 20%, 18 to 20% of its GDP is agriculture. 65% or 60% of the population lives in and depends on agriculture. So therefore, it's very important that you see how it compares and contrasts with US agriculture system. And use of technology, of course, you'll have Blackboard, and also website, WordPress, video conferencing facility will provide as we go along during the trip. Okay, our expectations. So these are important things. Now, 3 or 4 major expectations during the trip. Each group writes a paragraph of what they have experienced during the day. Every trip, every day, you'll be visiting some facility or the other. So you have to write a little bit about it and upload the paragraph and a picture, if possible, to WordPress. Each person within the group takes turns in writing the paragraph. A student may use the business center, local cafes, or if you do not have a computer, to upload it on WordPress, and we'll make sure that you have access to facilities to do that. So that's one. So you'll have to take trips, and you may want to keep a journal and write out, everything that you have experienced, so that you can summarize at the end of the day and write, what you saw and what was your experience, good or bad, and hopefully mostly good. Reflection paper. So when you come back a week, a few days after returning from the trip, you'll have to write a reflection paper. It doesn't have to be very long. It's been 1 or 2 pages at the most, that you will summarize your experience as a whole. You reflect back on the trip and see what you learned. Was it a shock? Was it a good thing? How you came across, and what are the memorable parts? Would you, what would you, have done it differently? What you missed and what you, enjoyed the most? And then there'll be a PowerPoint presentation, number 3. We'll discuss this during the trip, but what the idea is, before you come back, hopefully you'll have formed your subgroup, and each subgroup will have developed enough information to put on a PowerPoint and share with the rest of the group. That this is, I'm going to be working on rice crops of India, or nutritional problem in India, or dairy sector in India, or fruits and vegetable breeding in India, whatever, BT cotton, whatever your topic you choose, your subgroup, which will be hopefully some from Cornell, some from Indian universities, and will tell you how to form those groups. And the idea will be that you take some information that you've collected during your trip, visit to these facilities in the area of your interest, and think about what you're going to write, put them on PowerPoint, and share with everybody else. The idea is that if you share with somebody else, there will be some other group, for example, who may be thinking about similar things. So how can we put you together so that it could be a stronger, better paper? For example, somebody is interested in malnutrition. Somebody may be interested in rice. Somebody is interested in, genetic modification of rice to improve nutrition. So maybe we'll bring them together. So it'll be one bigger group, but cover the whole spectrum. The last one will be then group paper, project paper. The same thing, that subgroups you have developed, you have shared what you're going to do, and then you come back and write a project term paper, which will be due April 15th. So these are the 4 required items that everybody must do. Questions? Yes?
So there isn't like a course specifically when we come back that we meet with? It's just projects that we'll have to work on after the trip?
So you form your group while you are there. Well, after almost every other day or so, we'll put the whole group together, and we'll ask you within your, let's say, ag system group. Hopefully you'll work with Peter and others to form subgroups during the trip, that I'm going to focus on whatever. And then that will be your subgroup, and you'll continue with that subgroup, and you write your term project paper in consultation with other members and everybody contributing in it, and then you'll develop the whole project paper. That's how it's supposed to work. That's how it has worked well before. So you start thinking about it from day one. What area, what would you like to do, and who will be your group members who may have similar ideas. So we'll meet as ag system group, just like we were doing here in the beginning. We'll broke up after first lecture, and then we had subgroups. There we'll do the same thing. We'll give you opportunity to form subgroups and work with others and see what you want to do. So there'll be some shuffling. It's not laid out in concrete. First day you form, then people may shuffle and go around, and but by the time you are towards the end of the trip, you should have a very firm idea of what group, what subject, and what is the rough outline of your project that you have to share.
Can I add a comment?
Yeah.
I've been in previous trips on international agriculture, and one thing that I really strongly recommend, Professor said, just write a journal. But the journal should not be just a reflection of what you perceive, what you feel, what you no. Should be a critical assessment of what was that you observed and visit and talk to people. It has to be brief and concise. This will be a blessing when you are discussing in groups and when you are writing your papers. It has to be disciplined effort. It's an academic effort. It's an intellectual effort. It has not to be long, but it has to be concise. And you can add, how touched you were by such engineer that was doing such a good work. That's good. But then you have to think, well, if they are feeding children, what else can be done, etc., etc. Right? So the critical assessment of your day in India will help you greatly at the end. That's my very
Well, fine. That's good. We'll have a lot of opportunities to interact and, provide you help as needed. Yes.
So are we going to give that PowerPoint while in India?
While in India, last day in India. The last day, the last activity will be group making quick, like 3 minutes presentation, so everybody knows what your group will be working on. So if they want to switch or make adjustment, I want to attach with that group because I can do part of that, gives the flexibility. Make it very, professionally rewarding experience for everybody. So you go into the group that you think you can make the most contribution to and that you're interested in. Okay, India coordinators will be Sadhguru team, as I mentioned to you. So you'll know some of the names: Value Addition, Rupali Singh, Rural Infrastructure, Sunil, Ag Systems, Manjunath. These are the people that you'll be meeting and they'll be helping us. Coordinator for Value Addition, one more, Ashish Soni. And theme and faculty leaders, agricultural system is Rani Kaufman, Peter Hobbs, Peter Davies, and Darcy Dill, excuse me. Sadhguru will be Manjunath with the ag system. Value Addition will be myself, Alicia in the back, and Sadhguru will be Rupali and Ashish. Rural infrastructure, we have Dr. Raman, Pilar, and Nicole. So this is the group that will be traveling with you as faculty and staff to provide support. Okay? And Sadhguru will be Sunil Kumar. Logistic handbook there'll be a handbook available to you. It'll be given to you in India, I suppose, right? They're getting printed in India. It's cheaper to print in India than here. There'll be hardcore copies for you to, they'll be handed out to you. But most of the information will be available.
Before the trip leaves, and then it will be posted on the WordPress and on Blackboard. So when we get it, we'll also post it there. So please check Blackboard and WordPress throughout the winter break.
So still, these are some of the things that you should be looking at. Let's go through this, departure and flight itinerary, night before the trip, what you're supposed to pack and take with you. Let's go through this. So this is the departure. You cannot see this. This was posted on there, but we're leaving on January 20th, United Air Flight 0042 from Newark. And it leaves at 8:05 p.m. from Newark. And you'll be coming back on Wednesday, January 16th, and you'll arrive in Newark at 5:20 a.m. And from there, you'll be taken to Newark and brought back from Newark by bus. And let's go through that. So this is, you cannot see, but this is the total itinerary for your three areas: ag systems, rural infrastructure, value addition, which will be printed, and you are recommended to go and make sure you familiarize yourself with this. It'll be available on Blackboard. So you'll be starting in Mumbai. Mumbai is right here in Maharashtra, state of Maharashtra, the western part of India, the Bollywood capital of India. Okay, and if you look at, this is where the Ag System and Rural Infrastructure Group will start. A, right here is Mumbai. Then you'll travel to B, Aurangabad, right here. Then you'll travel to Rahuri, C, and D, Pune, E, Mahabaleshwar, back to F, and back to the US. So you'll be mostly in the western state of India, okay? It'll be a little bit different for Value Addition Group, but very similar. Again, same thing, we'll start out with Mumbai, and then we'll go to Aurangabad, C, then Nasik, then D to Pune, and meet with everybody in Mahabaleshwar. I guess Pune and Mahabaleshwar, then we'll go back to Mumbai, F, and fly out of here. So this year we are mostly focused in the Western India, especially Maharashtra. Okay, so what you're supposed to the night before the trip, or before, register for the trip on website. So WordPress, I hope you have registered. And you should print out the MEDEX insurance card also, which is very important just in case you don't feel well and you need to be taken care of. It's good to have that insurance card with you. And the following items, you must make sure that you have your passport. You can't go anywhere without your passport. Airplane tickets, you should have it, or print out. You should, I think electronic tickets, so that you should print it out. 2 pieces of identification. So you'll have your passport, but one more piece, either driver's license or Cornell ID or some official ID. Medication you may need. International students, you make sure that you bring your green card or permit to re-enter back the U.S. Money, you should bring, so sometimes, students run out of money and they do not know what to do, so we try to help them, but we recommend that for your personal use, you should have about $200 to $300. That should be enough, but if you want to go on buying a spree, you want to buy expensive gifts, you want to bring more money. So it's up to you.
Should that be in cash already, or can we bring a card as well?
Cards, credit cards are acceptable. That's not an issue, but make sure that many times your credit card will be denied if your credit card company doesn't know that you are traveling to India. So sometimes make sure that you let your bank know that you'll be using in India. Sometimes it has happened to me, that it was working fine. When I started using in India, it was denied because they didn't know. They thought it was somebody had stolen my card and was using, so they take precautions and not let a transaction go through.
And then they'll convert the cash for them.
Right, and if you bring cash, we'll have somebody convert it into Indian rupees also at the hotel. So it's better to bring cash, don't depend on credit card only.
How far will an American dollar get us?
I'll show you. Conversion rates, you mean?
I mean, I don't know what a rupee is.
Okay,
So, I mean, conversion doesn't.
price parity will be, like if $1 is 50 Indian rupees.
Right.
Okay, so in terms of price parity, it's not 1 to 50, it's like 1 to 6 or 7. So things you can do here for $1, you'll get it done in like 20 cents or so. Like haircut, how much you pay for your haircut here? Wrong person to ask. Okay, what is the normal? How much you think you pay for a haircut? $20, right? That's a lot of money. In India, you can get for from 10 cents to $10. It is very variable. Depends on where you go. So some of the things are very cheap. Some of the things are not as cheap. Depends also at what level you are. There a gradation of shops for even barber shop. From very you sit by the roadside and they'll shave and do your haircut. You can go to sophisticated salon. They'll charge you like $50. So it depends where you go, but it's relatively very cheap. And we'll talk about some of the things. Money, contact information to reach home or friends. You need to have that contact information. Okay, pack food to eat on the bus. You'll be traveling about 5 hours from here to Newark, 4.5 to 5 hours. So make sure you pack something to eat. Bring back pack or small bags to carry incidentals while traveling. Print out the booklet if you wish. It will be electronic copies will be available. You can download, but if you want to, you can bring them or you can print out. Departure information. This is very important.
Before that, can you comment on recommended clothing with regard to
It's coming.
temperature, rainfall?
It's there. It's coming. Just yeah. 12:30 p.m. departure from Ithaca on January 2nd. Very important that you be on time.
It's actually 12:45.
12?
It's actually 12:45.
12:45?
Yes, but we can say at 12:30. But in this document, it's in two different places as well. So we need to make a final determination then.
Okay. So make sure you have all documents and medications before leaving for bus. The bus will be in front of Rice Hall. And bus will depart no later than 1 p.m. This is what I've been told. Is that the right time? 1 p.m.?
Is that right? Won't depart any later than 1? Yes.
Okay. Make arrangements to have someone drop you off and pick you up on January 17th around 11:30 a.m. from Rice Hall. This is another important thing because this will be winter time. You cannot, depend on walking, so make sure that there will be somebody to, bring you and take you back. It's your responsibility.
If I can if any of you do need to leave a car, you can contact Nicole or myself. Transportation will tell you where you can park. It's pretty far away, but if you need to, there's no one that can drop you off. You can leave your car, but it's quite a hike, especially if the weather's bad.
Okay? Points of contact. If you're going to take the bus, but change your mind.
Did you say anything about those students that are going to meet you in New York?
That's what this
Oh,
is.
it's coming, is it?
This right there.
Okay.
So if you were going to take the bus but change your mind at the last minute and decide to meet the group, you have to make arrangement to get to Newark on your own. If you miss the bus, this is your responsibility. And you should let us know at least 2 days ahead of time so we are not stuck waiting for you. Okay, otherwise bus will leave at 1 o'clock. And you must call Nicole, Denise, and Tammy. Okay. So here it does say 12:45. Make sure you check the WordPress and Blackboard throughout the break for any changes, anything that we may have to inform you. Yes, what?
So some students may like to go to Newark themselves.
That's what this is for. They should make arrangement to go there and meet at the airport directly.
So what time?
What time? 2 hours before the departure, 3 hours before the departure times. That's international travel requirement is 3 hours before your departure time, you should be there.
And
Do we all meet at a certain point in Newark? Or?
Well, if you're coming on your own, then you should go through on your own and meet inside at the gate, basically.
Yes, we will have,
If you're meeting in Newark,
We will have advocates ahead.
yes, ahead of time, you should have your ticket.
yeah. Okay, all the students' accommodations are shared, so this is important, between Indian and domestic students. So Indian students will arrive first, and when you get there, it'll be early morning, so be sensitive. Some of them may be in the room, so don't get scared. There's some guy sitting there because they'll already have checked in. So, just to let you know. Welcome Hotel, you will be basically traveling to Mumbai, but directly from Mumbai airport you leave for Aurangabad. This is the first place where we will be staying. So their address is given here, Aurangabad, R3 Chikal Thana, Aurangabad. And this is on your, when you deplane, they give you a card to fill out about your information, where you'll be staying, what's your contact point. You must remember and print out this, that an arrival card in India, you will fill out this information. This is where you are staying, this is the phone number. On card, they ask you to write where you'll be staying, how can we contact you, just in case, because you are all foreign travelers. So they need that information for security reasons. So this is the information you'll use on the card. And also the important thing is there'll be many options. You are traveling as a tourist, as a somebody who's going to be working in India, or you are in dignitaries, or you are invited, or guests, or you are a student. So you will write that your purpose is tourism, the purpose of travel. That's why I've highlighted that you should check that is tourism. That's what you'll be doing, touring different facilities. Some other hotels where you'll be staying, Aurangabad, Pune, and the details and their websites are available. You can check it out. These are the 3 other hotels that you'll be staying at. Emergency contacts in India, details are given. Dr. Raman, Rupali, Sunil, Ashish, these are all Sadhguru guys, Suresh, Vijay. And more contacts available in the handbook. You may want to print them out and give it to your parents or leave it with your family here, just in case they want to get in touch with you. So this is important that you print it out and leave it with your family and friends. Airport security is very important. So in India, it's a little bit different. When entering the airport, passenger will have to produce tickets and their luggage is scanned. So first, before you can enter at the gate, there'll be a guy checking your ticket right at the gate before you enter inside of the airport. So make sure you have it ready. And as soon as you enter, the first thing you have to do is take your luggage and get it scanned. There'll be scanners. Airline A, this is scanner for airline A, this is for B, this is for C. So you make sure that you go to the airline that you're traveling with and get your luggage scanned, and they'll put a sticker on it that has been scanned. Then you go to the check-in gate or counter. Liquids and gels, the same thing, 3-ounce containers, only one, okay, and all of which must fit in a clear quart-size resealable plastic bag. This is, the same thing as in the US. Only one piece of hand luggage is allowed, not 2 pieces. So one backpack, a good size backpack is recommended. Okay? And Sadhguru and we will be there, and of course Sadhguru staff will be there to help you. Okay. And the details, you can go to the United website and they give you more details on airport security. Baggage details, that your name, address, and telephone number appear on the inside as well as on the outside, just in case sometimes they are misplaced. So you want to have them deliver it at the right place, so they need your address. Please review the United website, and that will be given to you. So in general, say we'll accept 2 pieces of checked baggage with the maximum weight of 50 pounds or 23 kilograms per bag and maximum dimension. So you do not need to be, you have to be within this limit of all 3 dimensions added should be about 62 inches. Okay, so make sure that you do not bring humongous size suitcases. You'll have to pay extra money for that. Okay, for first bag is free. Our travel agent, so this is a little bit confusing to me. This is what I was saying. Our travel agent says,
the website, it was confusing to myself as well as when I checked with the agent. You'll see where it says you can take 2 bags. But then the agent said for international travel, the first bag is free, the second bag is $100. So
but right here it says 2 pieces.
That's only for, I guess, domestic travel.
Yeah, then we should add it.
And I should have just wiped it out. And if you go to the website, you're going to read that yourself.
So best thing is to bring 1 baggage, so make sure, unless you are willing to pay $100 for the second bag.
That's $100 each way.
Probably, yes. Yeah. So it's recommended that 1 backpack and 1 good size 62 inches total dimension bag. Okay, so for international, this is what will apply. This may be the top one is for domestic. Okay, so check again, the same thing is, on their website, it says that they will charge $100. Okay, 62 linear inches, length, width, plus height, and 50 pounds in weight. So this is, you pay attention to, otherwise you'll have to pay extra money. What to pack? So this is a busy slide, but it's clothing. Temperature will be in the 80s. So bring wrinkle-free, cool, loose clothing that's easy to hand wash and dry. Okay. At nights, weather will drop into the 70s, so very comfortable. A lightweight jacket or sweater. It's better to layer on clothes if needed on cooler days than to bring anything bulky and heavy. Recommend you bring a hat, cap to protect you from the sun when we go on field trips, when we are outside in the field. Okay, there will be at least 1 formal dinner, so bring something a little dressier to change into, like a suit and tie is not necessary, but nice slacks and shirt or a skirt, that's all you need. Women wear long pants, long skirts, long dresses, no shorts, torn clothing, or low-cut blouses or revealing clothing. This is recommended for your own security. So dress very, conservatively and longer clothes, and don't have, shorts and exposed areas. Gentlemen wear long pants, shirts, again, no torn clothing or t-shirt with slogans. Shoes, it's preferable that you wear open-toe shoes. Sidewalks may be uneven or non-existent. So it is easy for infection to enter your body via small cuts on the feet. So make sure that your feet is properly protected. Medication. If you are taking prescribed medicine, be sure to bring your prescription to last you for the entire trip. Okay. Sundry items include mosquito repellent, soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, hairbrush, comb, hand sanitizer, contact lenses, enough supply, hair gel, deodorant, Band-Aids, napkins, anti-diarrhea pills, wipes, sunscreen lotion, and moist hand towels. Sunglasses and prescription glasses or contact lenses if you use them. A small notebook for notes and journaling. Make copies, this is important, make copies of relevant information from course agenda and syllabus and keep it with you, so you can refer to as needed. Camera, if you desire to take pictures, you should bring it. Check out weather details on this website because it will change. We cannot predict from now. Generally, it will be very pleasant into 70s and 80s. Jeans, yeah, definitely full-length jeans.
How about phones? What recommendations you make for to bring you if you bring your phone?
Okay, phone is probably the best advice will be that, you know, what I do is we'll go and buy a SIM card there. If you have a phone that you can buy SIM card, it'll be very cheap. So you take the phone, that interchangeable SIM card, you can go and buy a SIM card and insert it, take your out the original one from the US, otherwise it becomes very expensive. So every call you make from India comes to the US and goes back to India. So it becomes very expensive. So the recommendation is that you should use local phone. Okay, and then you can, in the hotels that will be staying, this internet service will be very good. So for family and friends, you can do Skype, you can do on internet phones and all that, you know. But for local phones, etc., sometimes, you know, if we will have phone like Dr. Rahman and Vijay and all those guys will have phones in case of emergency. You can use their phone. Peter.
Yeah, if you bring your phone from the US, you have to make sure that it's been unlocked.
Right. SIM card changeable.
Otherwise, you can't do
phone.
it. But you can also get a data package, so that you can do pick up
Internet.
email and stuff like this and not make a phone call. So
Right.
this is the other option that you can do. I think it's something like $50 for 2 or 3 megabytes of data. So.
You know, for students, I'll recommend that, you know, you should use internet service for all those kinds of things. But for phone, if you want to make extensive phone calls, local phone calls, I don't think you'll need to make that many. And there are kiosks and other places available for you to use the phone services that's available. Every you walk outside the hotel, you'll find some kiosks with phone services you can use. So for international calls back home, I think use the internet phone service.
A comment with regard to packing. For those who haven't done long international flights, you can get a little cool if you're wearing tropical clothes on the plane.
On the plane, right.
And it might pay to bring a sweater or something like that just to wear on the plane.
One other problem is that you're going to go from Ithaca to JFK in early January, and you've got this big heavy coat, and what do you do with it for the rest of the trip? So
right, from here when you have to go, you have to take something, but we are recommending that you layer yourself up instead of bringing really heavy duty one. Bring one, you know, warmer piece of clothing, but not a very heavy duty one. Because you can layer and you'll be walking from here to the bus to the terminal and back. But in the plane, if you have a, you know, kind of medium type clothing, that should work.
A slight adjustment also on the baggage you're allowed in the cabin. It's one baggage item and the equivalent of something small like a handbag or briefcase, your computer
yeah.
pack or whatever. So you are in fact allowed 2, but the second one is a small one.
yeah.
Should we bring our computers?
That's what I was going to comment.
Sure.
I think that you should bring your computer I think bringing a computer can be really useful.
You should bring
Or
your
an
laptop.
iPad. You can get wireless in most places, but sometimes some of the computers, local computers, are kind of not so good. So you bring your own computer. If we're going to do stuff on WordPress, or we're going to pick up email or that, I think bringing a computer. But when you bring a computer, be aware that, you know, don't just be careful that people don't steal it. That's the main thing.
So yeah, we'll recommend that you bring your laptop. And you have to take good care of it, you know, so that's important. Cultural trips. Indian food is traditionally eaten with fingers of the right hand. Okay, this is something to be sensitive with. You don't eat with the left hand because that's used for something else. Okay, so be prepared to eat with your fingers if necessary. Keep your fingernails short and clean. So they, you know, when you go there, they pay attention to your fingernail because a lot of bacteria can get inside and become a problem, you know. So they pay attention to, you know, as a sign of cleanliness. Greet people with namaste. So namaste is like, you know, putting your hands together and, you know, saying like bowing a little bit, you know, is namaste. You will be appreciated for using this Indian style of greeting. You will be expected to remove your footwear when you are visiting some Indian homes, because they don't want people to be dragging dirt from the streets inside the home, so therefore they expect you to take your shoes off. Especially when you visit temples, dargah, memorials, and tombs, even at home also. Before taking a taxi or auto rickshaw, the local mode of transportation, very common mode, know exactly where you want to go, and always agree on the price first. Don't hop in and jump into a scooter or a rickshaw, and then they'll fleece you. They'll start demanding, 500 rupees. So make sure you bargain first where you're going, how much it will cost. And it's always recommended that you travel with some Indian students. Take them with you. Don't venture out alone. Go in a group, 2 or 3 or 4. Take 1 or 2 Indian students with you. That you'll be meeting them anyway, so you'll get to know them. You'll be rooming with them. Always keep someone informed over where you're going and approximately how long you will be gone. So this is important so that we do not panic that somebody is not traceable. So we do not know. So make sure that you inform us. Always travel in group of 3 or 4 for safety. If you are fair complexion, which most of you are blonde or red-haired, be careful. Also, if you are a woman, which more than half of the class will be, chances are that you'll be stared continuously. So people will stare at you because they have never seen somebody like that. Especially in smaller towns and villages. So they don't mean anything bad. Don't be offended. People mean no harm. They're just curious. Okay? And they would like to take their picture with you. They'll, whether you want them or not, they'll go around you. If you say, one of you is taking picture of another one, they'll just gang up and, can I be in the picture too? So they're doing it, out of, curiosity, so they get the picture taken. So they don't mean any harm. Beggars, do not let them hassle you, because you'll see a lot of poor people begging in the streets. So, if you give them more, the more will show up. Keep extra photocopies of relevant pages of your passport. This will be required for Indian permit. So make sure you make some copies, and some copies you should put in your backpack, some copies in your other suitcase, so that just in case you need it. When asking for directions, ask shopkeepers, not pedestrians. So if you get lost or you need to know where you are or something, you just go to shopkeepers, not somebody who is walking by. They may not know. And this says cross-check with at least 2 people. Sometimes, nobody wants to say that they don't know anything, so they'll tell you something anyway, whether it's right or wrong. So this means cross-check with another person. Okay, taxis and auto rickshaws fare keep changing, and therefore do not always, conform to the reading and the meter. Insist on seeing at least the rate card. Especially taxis are required to have rate cards on them. The driver, you should insist, show me the rates. Money, money, money. So like we said, for personal purchases, 200 to 300, but it's up to you. Bring cash, but be alert, do not put all your eggs in one basket. That means, you should distribute your money in some backpack, some in your wallet, and some maybe in your suitcase, Maybe not suitcase, I'll not recommend, because suitcases go through a screening and there may be, but in your wallet and your backpack, ATM may not be accessible, although there are ATMs. 1 Indian rupees is, 1 in US dollar is 50 rupees, and there'll be money exchanger available at the hotel. You can also do at the airport, but we'll recommend that you wait to get to the airport to change money. Take the time to be informed, learn, laugh, and have fun. Take the time to be informed about who is in your theme group and who is in the course. A list will be available and will be posted on WordPress and Blackboard. Review the facts, Indian states, culture, history of India before you travel. And the information, a lot of information will be available in the handbook. So this is India, is waiting for you to arrive. Okay. So we'll welcome you. So India is there. It will be a lifetime experience. It will grow on you. First day you'll never seen poverty and richness living side by side. As soon as previous years, as soon as the students land at the airport, they are going to the first hotel. They're taking pictures of naked kids running around in the streets. They've never seen something like this. third or fourth day they're used to it. They don't take any more pictures because this is very common.
There's a question.
Yes.
Yeah, is that a cultural no-no to chew gum? Or is that fine?
What?
Like chewing gum?
No, I mean if you're in a formal setting, that is not recommended. You can chew gum, but not in a professional meeting or when you're going and visiting somebody for the first time. That's not considered as a good habit to be, chewing gum and while you're meeting somebody for the first time. But in your, of course, otherwise you're free to do that. So one more thing I thought India has 28 states and 7 union territory, 1.2 billion people. So there's a lot of people. Wherever you go, you'll see lots and lots of people. So be, comfortable with it. There'll be a lot of people around you wherever you go. Very crowded. One last thing I thought I would say, number system in India. So when you will be talking to people, they say 1 lakh. So what is 1 lakh? 1 lakh is 100,000. LAKH or LAC. 100,000 is called 1 lakh. 10 lakh is a million. So it goes by 10. 1 lakh, 10 lakh, and then 1 crore and 10 crores. So this is a useful thing to remember. 10 lakh is 1 million. So 100,000 is 1 lakh. And then 1 crore is 10 million. So this is how they go. So remember, lakh is 100,000. Okay, so they'll be saying, oh, we processed so many lakhs tons of weed this year, So that's important to know that they're talking about 100,000. Whatever pounds, rupees, when there's a lakh, is 100,000. Okay. So also we'll recommend, there's a very nice blog by somebody who has traveled to India, how to make the most of your first trip to India. This is at the Wall Street Journal. And I went through that. I thought that was a very nice write-up on experiencing new culture and coming up with new things that you have not seen and experiencing and enjoying them. So I'll recommend that you go through that, how to make the most. So it's a Wall Street, WSJ, Wall Street Journal blog. Okay. So we'll stop here, and if you have any more questions, we'll be happy to answer, and then we'll have another quick short presentation.
The electricity outlets, it's British?
Outlet with, most computers are 110-220 convertible, right? You can use either one. India is 220. It's not 110. But there's an adapter that you'll be given if you bring your computer. It costs about 10 cents. And that adapter is 2-pronged adapter that will go to in Indian sockets, and the other end you can plug your computer. So that will be made available to you. No, you shouldn't buy. It's much cheaper to buy in India if necessary.
I was going to say you can buy these in India for nothing. So
but for 10 cents here, they'll charge you $5. Yeah.
In the case of any medical emergency or anything like that, is that when the MedX card comes into play? We use our own insurance?
Of course, you can use your own insurance if it covers overseas. Yes.
So we're going to be traveling to the different cities. How far is that traveling time? Is it like 5 hours, an hour?
Well, some of them you'll be traveling by plane, so it's only, the one that we have is not more than an hour by plane. And by train, I think only one group will be traveling by train, which is value addition group, which will be like 2 or 3 hour ride. Yeah.
So the other ones are
I think so, yeah. You'll see in the itinerary. Yeah.
How long is the flight?
Flight from Newark to Mumbai will be, I think, about non-stop, about 14 hours.
It's non-stop?
It is not.
It's non-stop?
I think it's non-stop from Newark to Mumbai.
Yeah. It's about 5 movies.
Is that about 14
That
hours?
is correct. And I think that, just to be safe, let's do 12:30. So we'll do 12:30 meeting at Rice Hall.
Right.
Yeah.
So this will be a good visit. You have to come with open mind, be prepared to experience a new culture, and don't be too adventurous. Make sure you think through on eating, so you do not get any stomach problem. Peter has a green pill, which is time tested.
One of the interesting things in India is that they have pharmacies where you don't need prescriptions, and you also have local doctors that can diagnose your problem very easily. So I wouldn't worry too much about getting sick in India because they have...
But you should minimize, don't get sick, otherwise you'll miss out on the trip. So, right, don't use tap water, use bottled water, and don't eat anything by the roadside. Make sure you eat only in good restaurants and, where food is prepared in a very hygienic manner. Number 3, we recommend that you should try to avoid anything that's cut fruits and vegetables exposed to outside, If you have to eat banana, it's okay to peel and eat. But if you have cut fruits and vegetables sitting in a platter or somewhere, not in a good restaurants, is okay. But by street restaurants or restaurants that are not like 4 or 5 stars, then you'll get into trouble. So don't try to minimize cut fruits and vegetables in less than 4-star hotels.
And we will have bottled water when we make it.
Right. The Sadhguru group will provide bottled water. We'll have every trip we go to, there'll be bottled water on the bus. Yeah, please.
And one last comment that I would like to do to all of you, which I have noticed in other trips, it's very exciting to be in another country. And there is so much to see and so much things that are attracting our attention that we forget that we have arranged through very hard work, taking the time and knowledge of other local people to talk to us. So I can see, the group, the person is trying to explain how they do the film, how they do this and that. And here, 8 people are paying attention, and 10 or 15 are taking pictures and walking there and talking among others. And this is awful. This is just the ugly American. Have you heard about it? Yes. All of the third world countries, all the rest of the world know about this, the ugly American. So we try not to be the ugly American and be respectful and take into account that these people are giving their time, their knowledge, and we should be sensitive, right? You think of yourself doing the same thing, giving a talk, and everybody, no? And I noticed, and it's not very nice the first 2 or 3 days, but the 4th day, everybody's just running around taking pictures. You didn't go to take pictures. Pictures are important, but that's not the main thing you're going to do, okay? You have to listen, you have to talk to people, that's the richness of that. Pictures, go to the web, they're playing.
In terms of jet lag, has it ever been an issue between these trips? It's like, for the first day,
Yes, you have some jet lag. You are very tired the first day. You're like,
so
I need
the first day that is leaving, is it, I didn't get sick.
Professor Peter can tell you more.
One good thing to do is to go and see your doctor and get some Ambien. And you only need it for a couple of nights, but it's really, when you're that far behind on time, taking an Ambien, try to stay awake during the day as long as you can, and then take some Ambien before you go to sleep. You'll get 6 or 7 hours of really good sleep, and you'll get back on schedule as quickly as possible. When you first get there, you'll be so exhausted that the first night you're going to sleep really well, but then the second night you can't get to sleep, or you wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning. So.
What time do we land?
I don't know what time do we get in, do you know?
Well, 5 o'clock in the morning. I think you'll be getting that. Isn't it 5 or then immediately you leave for Aurangabad, the same from there?
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you my technique that I've found work. Wherever I go to bed for 3 hours immediately on arrival, and then I'm ready for the rest of the time, but I don't know whether the schedule permits that.
And
It works wonders on resetting, even if it's the middle of the day.
Yeah. There'll be some jet lag. You will experience some jet lag, because in the plane you'll be sitting for 14 hours, it goes up, and it's hard to control. But if you can stay awake, then you'll fall asleep after arrival there. But you are going to be in the morning, and you'll be traveling again in the morning, to another city, and then there's orientation, so you cannot.
You can't go to bed.
Right.
So you recommend trying to stay awake for that 14 hours?
No. Go to sleep for 14 hours.
I think, everybody is different. So what I do is, normally I try to stay awake a little longer when it depends what time you're landing. If you're landing in the morning, you want to sleep and then be awake because it's going to be daytime and there'll be a lot of activity. If it lands at night, then it's different. You don't want to sleep, you get there and sleep. So it depends. Our flight reaches there in 5 in the morning, right?
Yes, that's what I believe. I'm going to double check it.
No, it's 9:40 that you arrive.
Do you have, can you pull up that slide?
I mean, it's right here. but then it's 9:40
Oh, okay.
PM.
PM.
On January 3rd. But as soon as you arrive, my understanding is then you're going to get your bag and all that, and then hop on a domestic plane within to travel to your next spot. And I don't know when you get into that.
You arrive at 9:40 p.m.?
It's 9:40 p.m. on
And
January
you're gonna catch another flight
3rd, and then you catch another flight is what I was
So this is
told.
what I'm saying. Ultimately, when you
But
get there,
again, we don't have all of, I haven't seen that itinerary, so I don't know for sure exactly when you
So
take
think
off.
about it, if
But
you-
I think it's, you land and then within so many hours you'll be taking off to go.
I thought it sounded on the slide you had there that we're going to go to a hotel and spend time there and then go out.
no, we land in Mumbai as much as I've seen. You land in Mumbai, you stay at the airport, and then take a trip, another domestic flight to Aurangabad. From Mumbai airport, you go to Aurangabad, and there you arrive at 5:40 in the morning.
A few days before you leave, get on Indian time.
I think it's just safe to, you will reach there, then you'll take another flight. By the time you get to Aurangabad, it'll be 5 o'clock in the morning. I think that's what I remember vaguely. So you will have a very tired person.
So are we supposed to check in online and print out our own boarding passes, or is this
Boarding pass.
Nicole can update about the boarding passes.
We will be sending you a copy individually to each person. And those of you who have deviated, you've been working directly with Marianne. I will also have those, but I believe that you're going to get those yourselves because you're working directly with Marianne. But yes, you'll have them.
Okay. So those who are, if they want to travel on their own, they will need their own boarding pass, right? They want to meet at Newark?
Yeah, we have it all. We have everyone's that's deviated. So yeah, they're going to be on their own. And exactly like you said, meet us at the gate. I have all your numbers and you have mine, but you'll be meeting at the gate.
But you should be able to check online 24 hours before your flight, check in and get your boarding passes printed out on a computer, you know.
But that's only for those who are on their own, right? The rest of them
Yes,
you will send.
we'll have them,
Yeah. Nicole will have the rest of the boarding passes. Okay, so now we have a person who has experienced this trip in 2011. Right? Yeah. So long time ago, your experience.
Hello everyone, I'm Dhyaneshwaran, or Dhyan. I took this course in 2011. I'm originally from India. I'm really going to give you a short presentation about what you should do and not do, and some of the things what I say will be a repetition of what Dr. Rizvi said, but it will be different the way that I'm saying. I'm going to tell about health, shopping, and dressing. And for health, for mosquitoes, you can use off. Yeah, you can use off, which you can get from supermarkets in America, or if you don't get it, if you go to India, you can find Odomos, a mosquito repellent cream, which is really useful for American students.
They'll give you one of those, Saku gives you one of those tubes
yeah.
when you arrive.
Yeah, if you run out of it, you can buy again in the shop. And for water and food, you cannot drink water from pipe in India because the pipe water is not consumable, it's not drinkable. You can drink only water that is sterilized and water which is given in water bottles. And beware of shops like McDonald's and McDuck and KFC or something like that. You know, they are not real multinational brands, and if you go and eat there and you may get some really bad problems. I wouldn't suggest you to go and eat in multinational brand hotels in India too, because they are not really, you know, it sounds like American food, but it's not at all American food. So it's like Indian food that you get in America, so don't go there. And so this is very important. So most of the people doesn't understand that Indian toilets are different from American toilets. But all the hotel toilets will be westernized, but when you go to a tourist place like Ajanta or Nellore caves, you will not find our Western toilets. You'll find these toilets. But in some cases you may find, but most of the cases you'll find Indian toilets. And that's the way you use it. And if you want, you can carry a roll of toilet paper with you, because we don't provide toilet papers in our toilets. Yeah.
The next question, is the toilet paper flushed or is it put in a can at the side?
It should be, it should be flushed. There's no can, no. It can be flushed, right? So this is not, I am not exaggerating anything here. This is a normal road scene in India. So you have to be very careful when you're crossing roads. And vehicles do not stop for people. They'll yell at you, and even if a vehicle, he hits you or something like that happens, they'll not even stop their vehicle. And if they stop, they'll yell at you. They'll not even, most of the people won't even apologize. But if you're an American, it may differ, I don't know. But for Indians, that's the case. And all these things Dr. we told already. Shopping. So beware of these false brands. Like we have Numa, we have Adidas and Puma in the same bag. Like we have multi-branded bags. So and they will sell it to you for very cheap prices. But make sure that you get good quality products. And bargaining is one of the important things that you have to do in India. But don't be always overdo it. Don't overdo the bargaining to people who are really poor and who are farmers market. No, it's not nice. And
in Australia, when you get 50 rupees per dollar. So when you are saying 50 rupees less, it's just $1 less for you, or 25 rupees for you, it's 50 cents for you. But for these people, it's a lot of money, right? So that's not overdoing.
Yeah, and if you see beggar kids, small kids, running to you and asking you for something, for money or something, what I would advise is please don't give them money, but you can always give them some food. So, and especially alcohols. If you go to India to an alcohol shop in India, it will be something like this. This is not the place you have to go. And if you want to get alcohols in expensive hotels, they are going to be really expensive. So the best thing to do will be get an alcohol bottle from here and then take it there.
You can't do that. You can't do that because you can't take fluids. Right, so you'll have it confiscated at the airport before you even get on.
So I didn't know that, but I took it last time.
Well, you can put it in your check luggage, but you're risking it breaking and having the right flight covered with
What
wine.
he meant was duty free. You can get duty free.
Oh, true.
Duty free will be okay.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm not sure.
But then when you get to India, and you go to board another plane, they're going to take it away. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So then you can move it into your suitcase.
Yeah.
So I can sort it out.
I suggest that you, for the 11 and 12 days you're there, try and imagine yourself as a teetotaler and drink lots of tea.
Yeah, that would be a good idea too. Travel, these are called autos, and that's called bus. So in bus you don't bargain. In autos you do bargain. And in buses they don't inform you where the stop comes, so you have to be really, asking the person again and again when the stop arrives. So I would always suggest you to take someone who knows the local language and English, so that you don't get into trouble. And dressing, it's normal. Don't expose your legs, or don't wear any low-cut tops that may attract negative attention. For boys, it's fine. You just wear pants, shoes, trousers, anything. It doesn't matter. That's it. And if you have any questions, just let me know. But you will be staying in the nicest hotels in India. You will be provided with nice toilet facilities, nice food, and everything will be fine. But when you're going outside, when you're exploring, that's where the problem starts. Everything will be new and stuff like that. But I wish you to have a safe and fun trip. I had a lot of fun in my trip. They are one of the most memorable moments of my life. So if you want to ask any questions regarding that, you can feel free to ask.
Is there an opportunity for swimming at the hotels or not?
I don't know, but if you Dr. Rusty can say.
Yes.
What is the question?
Swimming.
Do they bring swim suits?
Yes, permitted.
But do they have a pool at the hotels?
Some do, some don't. It depends. You know, like the Taj, most of the Taj hotels will have swimming.
Okay, so we can bring a swimsuit.
Yes.
For one.
I'll recommend that. You know,
It's cold.
it will be, you know, but you know, in Mumbai, it
It'll be cold.
not the units at times may not be, you know,
What's the temperature where it's going?
80 degrees they're saying during the day.
60 at night. And the water may not be very high infection.
Oh, really?
So don't swim.
In some cultures, you give like a small gift when you go into someone's home, and I was wondering, is that customary to be putting out pictures of our family? I know that was something that we often did, get pictures of our family, or maybe give like a little trinket or something from the U.S., and I don't know if that's the same way in India, because it already has Western.
Come on, gifts are always nice. You know. It's fine. It's fine, I think.
But it's not, is it, I mean, what's the gift-giving culture in India? Can you talk a little bit
Gift
about
giving, okay. Well, in Tamil Nadu, I'm from Tamil Nadu, I'm not from the western part of India, but I'm from the southern part of India. Well, we don't actually, there's no gift giving culture, but when you come to our homes, we will give you some gifts. But it's okay, sometimes people also receive gifts, so it's fine. I mean, if you want to get gifts like, you know, a picture of your photo, or picture, like what you said, a picture of you with your family is fine. That's
A pencil.
So one thing I'll recommend that you'll be visiting a lot of villages, and the kids will run up to you. A lot of kids will run. There are some older people also, but kids will make them very happy if you give them a pen. So we have found out that, you know, every time I go, I carry, you know, several pens, so I give it out. That makes them very happy.
One of the students last year.
In a formal setting, if you have invited somebody's house, etc., then you may want to give a picture of your family or something, a frame or something. But for every day when you'll be going to villages, etc., and visiting, you know, farms and schools and all that, these pens become very handy. So bring, you know, 10, 15 pens, you know, to give out to kids.
or buy pens in India, they're much cheaper.
Buy them there. Yeah.
One of the students brought stickers, a whole bunch of stickers, and just handed out
Indian
stickers.
kids love stickers, especially
And tried to
WWE.
make sure she had enough throughout. So when the kids came up or visited a school, she gave the stickers out, and stickers, pencils.
You had a question, Susan?
Yeah, I wanted to ask in terms of free time, how is it going to be organized? Is it going to be a little bit every day, or like, are we going to have a tight schedule?
You will have definitely some time for shopping and sightseeing and local visits and all that, but there'll be some evenings where we'll get together as a group and talk about, share our visits from, you know, because different groups will be visiting different places. So we'll get together and talk about it, so everybody gets to hear what this are.
Okay, so
But
it really
there'll be
depends
some
on the
time.
days and on the schedule.
Right, you will see this a little bit more detail. Definitely there'll be time for you to go outside and see the scenery and experience the culture.
Yeah. No other questions? There you go.
There's another sort of slideshow that you may want to see in India.
Well, one of the things that I remember from other trip of India, because Danny cannot tell about that, but there is no tampons in India. So if you use those, bring yours, okay? You cannot find those in the stores.
And the last day,
Well, Megan told me to say that, but
the last day you will be in India.
maybe they will know that.
Will be the last one is not Mumbai. Before Mumbai, we are in Bhubaneswar. Mahabaleshwar, right? That's the city. There will be a gala dinner where you are supposed to deck out, you know, in nice Indian saris. So a lot of people go and buy saris. So when you buy saris, there will be Indian ladies, you know, students who teach you how to wrap them. Number one. Number two, the important thing is to keep in mind that the sari goes the blouse, and most of there are very few ready-made ones. So most of them go to a tailor. and get it stitched a day before, and then do it in 24 hours. So then they really dressed up in Indian saris, etc. on the last day for a special dinner. So you get a chance to do that.
So,
Right, you can use that one as well. That most people do that. Look very different. They're not recognized. But it would be a good experience. I think they should have it somewhere, right? Peter, pretty good pictures from last year.
Is it on last year's WordPress?
There are pictures on last year's WordPress, but there's more on Flickr.
Look at the pictures.
There's on Flickr.
Is there a Flickr site?
There is a Flickr site,
we should
yeah.
send a
Link, yeah.
Can you post them?
Yeah. We'll post the link to Flickr.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there'll be, you can see there'll be pictures posted from last year's trip, and dinner, etc. How they dressed up, and everybody looked, very Indian and all that. It'll be good. Then they also have a person come in and do henna. They'll put henna on your fingers and palm and decorative design and all that. So that's very, another cultural experience. They'll have some music and history, and hopefully, you'll experience some of it. India is such a huge country. We are going to be really in one part of India. So that you'll experience some of the cultural heritage that most people practice. Okay, any more questions, comments? Of course, we are available. Everything will be able to put on Blackboard. And we have email addresses of all of us who are going. Feel free to send us any queries that you may have before we depart. We'll be very happy to respond. Of course, Nicole is the first person to get in touch with, and she will farm out to whoever can answer your questions the best. So
my phone number is on there, so I'm going to do the best I can to answer all of your phone calls and things like that. But mostly, everyone texts me probably, and then I'll give you a call back over break and stuff if you guys have questions.
So will you upload this like?
Yes, if that's okay, I want to upload both slides. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, when will we have the handbook?
Booklet, anything?
In India,
as Denise said, I think that we're going to get the information before that, and we'll be able to post it, but to actually get the book, I believe, is in India.
They'll print it in India.
It will be posted, so if you want to print out, you can print out from Blackboard.
Right.
Blackboard 4020?
Pardon? Yes.
6020, there's no separate Blackboard for 6020.
No, but the travel, all of you, I have you on a listserv. I email you all directly. That's generally where I've been emailing you all. If you guys find it easier to directly go to Blackboard, we can stop emailing. That's probably something we could talk about.
The other thing we can do is post it on the WordPress site.
Yeah.
WordPress on another place. All right, so any more last?
Yeah, I just want to say your term papers, please post them on Blackboard.
All right.
You will find, like you did the outlines, you see under My Groups, you'll see your group for your final paper. You click on that, go to File Exchange, and you add a file, find it, and submit.
Very important. Don't send it to us. Put it on under the specific group, value addition, with price structure, and ag systems.
And then we'll discuss what we require for the paper for the 602 class. We'll discuss that while we're on the trip.
Right, that's what we discussed that. Okay, so if we don't see you, have a good break. And first you have to go through the exams. Have a wonderful exam week. And then a good break. We'll see you in January, hopefully.
Should we ask them about, did anyone